Okay, it's a quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So, today's video, why are most side hustles actually crap? Most side hustles, let's face it, are a total waste of time. And that's not just this year, that's last year, the year before, that's every year. Not all side hustles are created equal. Most of them, they're really just designed to drain your time, not to build your income. And it can be very hard to tell the difference between the two. Many people, especially on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, they're pushing about make money with online content, get rich, join me in my rented villa with my rented supercar, live the dream. It's all BS. You need to be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's just fluff. And believe me, there's a lot of fluff out there. So I'm going to break down 3 side hustles that are worth your time, in this man's opinion, and 3 that are just distractions that are probably going to cost you time and maybe even cost you money. So the hustles to avoid. So for a start, online surveys. Anybody that thinks they can give their data, their email address, their phone number, their particulars to a company offering online surveys. Many of these promise you £2, £3, £4, £5 a survey, but you need to wait a certain grace period to get that, and then you might do the survey, but because of the information you added at the start, once you've done it, they decide you're not eligible. But that's okay because they've got your information with the carrot that they've dangled of £5 or an Amazon voucher or whatever they use. Most of them are crap. Most online surveys, they average about 60 pence an hour, and you're giving your data away. Wake up, people. Don't do online surveys. It's not worth it. It's a time sink. Another one that's going to be controversial, but I'm going to bang it out there anyway, is drop shipping. But drop shipping with zero experience. Now, don't just think that you can watch a YouTube video, go on Google and find a supplier that offers dropship, stick all their products on eBay and Amazon, and retire next week. It's not going to happen. I know from experience. I've taught people how to dropship. I've taught people where to find suppliers that are credible. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. The market is absolutely oversaturated. It's heavily based on ad spend, and the platforms are very volatile. Not to mention, you've got platforms like, for example, Amazon. Let's just say, for example, that you do manage to find something from AliExpress or Alibaba or whatever that's not currently sold on Amazon in any guise. You manage to cut a deal with the supplier. You manage to get the delivery times to something remotely sensible. You put that product on Amazon. It starts to take off. Week 4, week 5, you start to get revenue in. I guarantee you, I promise you, within 3 months, Amazon will have noticed that your product is selling, and about 5 generic named versions of it will pop up. And the reason for that is, and Amazon do this all the time, they look at the markets that sell, they've got all the data, and then they just create their own products to rival it. And obviously that product ranks higher. So even if you're lucky enough to have the buy box, which is, let's face it, the only way that you make real money on Amazon, Amazon will then just take that off you, and they'll shill their own products. And this has been going on for years. It's not news, but it's been going on for years. Drop shipping can work. It absolutely can. But you need real relationships with real suppliers. You can't just be a stay-at-home mum, look for a product on Alibaba, bang it on Amazon, and feed your family. It doesn't work like that. Another one that's just as bad and just as heavily pumped as an easy way to make money, and this is number 3, is print on demand. Whether it's t-shirts, whether it's mugs or pens or whatever, print on demand did have its heyday. Yeah, back in 2015. Print on demand was phenomenal 10 years ago. USB sticks, branded items. You turn up at the expos in London, like the TFM&A, touting your marketing business. Or you turn up at a convention, you got a bag full of branded goodies. It looked amazing. and as a marketing tool, invaluable. Offering it to other companies, being the supplier for that product, used to be very good, but now everybody does it. And there are companies overseas that can ship fast and the prices are rock bottom. You can't compete with them. Not only that, in the UK, there's high competition. The margins are ridiculously low. With dropshipping, for example, a typical margin, a working margin, before you've paid any taxes, any cost of delivery, any cost of selling, the actual margin you make from a goods supplier is about 30 to 40%. Now, if you're paying VAT and you're paying postage and everything else, work that out, you're probably making 5% on a product. With print on demand, very often it's even less than that. Don't be under any illusions that this is a good market to get into. Unless it's incredibly niche, and I mean incredibly niche, and unless it's marketed very well, which obviously means cost, you're not going to make any money from it. So now let's get into 3 side hustles that do have potential and do make money. And these are real world tested. So the first one, it may sound boring and it may sound crap, but trust me, there's a market for it, is local services. So local services, especially with low overheads. Think about it. All of us know English. Well, certainly the English speakers that are watching this video will. So all of us know English. It's our first language. I would think all of us can speak it and write it to an intelligent level. You could do tutoring. You could do dog walking. You could do garden maintenance if you're a bit more physical. There are many things that you can do that require very little training, literally zero overheads, and can make money. And obviously it's local, so you don't have to worry about having an internet connection or being very far from your home to do these. You've got freelancing on UK sites. So for example, websites like Fiverr, sites like People Per Hour, things like writing, things like editing, designing, even producing AI prompts. And you would be amazed, although services like ChatGPT, Copilot, Perplexity, all of these sites, they are intuitive to use to people that are IT minded, perhaps like myself, and also some of you out there. But for the people that aren't, they go to places like Fiverr, like People Per Hour, and they buy prompts from prompt engineers. And that's literally only become a job in the last sort of 12 to 18 months. Whether it's prompting for Midjourney to create ideal AI images, all of these are valid things. And it's a market that's going to be ever growing. It's not something that's going to be dissipated by the advent of AI. This is something that's going to get better because of AI, because you need a human to shepherd and monitor those results. And also the competition's not too fierce at the moment. And the last one, and this might be a little bit controversial in the same way that drop-in was in the first set, dropshipping, sorry, selling unwanted items and flipping. So there are sites like Vinted, Facebook Marketplace. These sites can produce massive ROI if done right. And I'm not just on about going through grandma's closet and selling a few blouses on Vinted. I'm not just on about flogging some dodgy DVDs or whatever on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. There's a guy, you can Google him. I can't remember the guy's name, but if you go on Google, have a look for him. There's a guy that's made a business, a young lad. I think he's in his mid-20s. He made a business out of collecting sofas and also some other stuff. I think the odd white good sort of item. Collecting these where they're offered for free, local to him on Facebook Marketplace, storing them in his unit, giving them a clean, and then reselling them on Facebook Marketplace. Now, obviously, he's not just collecting any old crap. He's collecting things that are genuinely functional, that are genuinely good, that people just don't want. Going out with his transit or whatever he's got, collecting the items, banging them in storage, and then just selling them. Now, this guy did a YouTube video of how he got started and his success, and genuinely, he makes about £35,000 a year net profit on just flipping sofas. As I said, I can't remember the guy's name. He's definitely on YouTube. That's where I saw the video. He's definitely, you'll find him through Google. But people can make money by flipping goods if it's done in the right way. So it's a reality check. Hopefully these 6 have given you pause for thought. Most people don't need 10 side hustles. I mean, God knows I've got 3 or 4. Most people don't need that many. They just need one good one that they can actually follow through with, that actually makes sensible money. Now, my reason for having multiple hustles is that I have got a touch of ADD, or whatever you want to call it, and my attention span is literally that of a 5-year-old after a bag of Haribo. I've got the worst attention span ever. So plonking me in front of a screen endlessly all day is just going to lead to me going out of my mind and looking for entertainment or attention elsewhere. So I've got multiple hustles. I've got some that are behind the screen. I've got some that are more visceral, where I go out and I play gigs in a band, and this, they kind of distract from each other. But I've managed to do it so that they work in and around each other quite well. So that works for me. It's about finding what works for you. Not everybody's got the same amount of time. I tend to go for things that use skills that I've already got, so I don't need to retrain. I don't need to invest in a new skill. And I try to use things that have got hustles that use equipment that I've already got. So I already had guitars. I'm just making them earn me money. I already had a laptop. I'm just using it to make money. So therefore, there's very little outlay. And that made sense for me. But look, what are your thoughts on this? What hustles have you tried that worked out? And let's be honest, what ones have you tried that didn't? Drop it in the comments below. Really keen to find out. And just remember, the comments that you put, the information that you give could help other people. Let's level everybody up. Let's be better. Let's do better. Anyway, YouTube's going to put another video there. Either watch it or don't, your choice entirely. Do please like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz, and I'll drop another video tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.